Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the south side is the Cyan Zuzi's Legacy. We have Wam01. Spawn on the top right side is the blue Ottomans. Got, is it Elyo or Ilo? I can see either way. Looks like it's merely going for a military school. Going for some early spearmen. When it comes to this matchup, Zuzi's Legacy will have to eye a good spot for the meditation gardens. I wonder if there's a spot where we can get both of these gold deposits. Could perhaps put it right here and definitely get both stone deposits. Maybe able to play out a good number of those hand cannoneer slits from outposts. That could be quite nice for defense. Let's see, what else another good spot for you can put it? Of course, right here, of course, get the berries. Huh. I'm looking at the map. Is there only one large gold deposit on this map? Am I crazy? Did Cyan not get a large gold deposit on this side of the map, or did it just spawn this direction? It looks like Cyan may be missing out on a large gold deposit. There's of course a small one in the center for both contestable, but maybe this was supposed to be more in the center as well, but just spawned up here. I think Cyan got screwed a little bit in map generation. He has been the meditation gardens here. It looks like it will perhaps reach both gold deposits. This radius is pretty generous. You've got twin minaret and meteorites being pulled on the field. Yeah, we'll get 2 gold deposits, the berries, the stone, the gold, and maybe 5 wood chips per minute. Seeing it's increasing twice the rate as a stone deposit, likely it does touch both gold deposits. But right now I'm thinking Cyan's side of the map is a little bit more barren. I see 2 small gold. See the 2 small gold for here for blue. This one's of course in the center and this off the side. Yeah, it looks like Cyan may have got screwed a little bit. You now have for the Forgotten Ruins here, garrison. Get a bit of stone collection. That's probably meant for the additional military schools. A nice slow collection rate, which is faster than a single villager. And of course you don't have to worry about drop off and all that sort. And eventually we'll deposit a relic for you to claim. Keep an eye on the Imperial Council. But yeah, so based on map generation, looks like Cyan got screwed a little bit, though he does have a pair of wood deposits in front of him to provide a lot of natural boundaries. Meditation Garden's not being disturbed anymore. Looks like Cyan's eyeing for a fast castle, maybe for a Shaolin Monastery. That's usually the best thing for... Oh yeah, it's also Tang Dynasty, which for Zuzi's Legacy reduces the cost of the landmarks. Going with the Shaolin Monastery now. When it comes to map generation, there is no traversable path here. There's of course a traversable path here in the lowlands, in the valley, in between the valleys. And yep. So yeah, it looks like there's no overridge pass for both sides. Though Cyan could deploy out some outposts here to get some good spotting. High ground doesn't mean anything in Age of Empires 4, but does actually mean something for spotting. That's actually one of the few things that high ground does actually apply in this game. And honestly, for the most part, I think high ground bonus multipliers is something that's really hard to balance around. And if you want more randomized map generation, you have to perhaps sort of forgo high ground as a strategic asset. In some cases, some high ground spotting is something minor, not as influential, just something nice to have. Shaolin Monk deployed in the field, trying to grab some relics. There's of course 5 relics on the map, 2 in the center. Blue spawned a little bit off the side and close to him. While Cyan's 2 other does have 2 on his side, so Cyan had a little bit better map generation. Got the Wololo, the slow Wololo. Gets a tiny bit of health regen there, but looks like he's going to probably either need to drop the relic or back himself up to a corner to get a good fighting point there. It's going to creep his way towards his town center or towards the Shaolin Monastery. He's going to stand and fight there. Field work deployed in the field, so he gets out some faster imams, and he has not aged up just yet. He does have enough resources to age up now. Part of Mahib Imperial Armory. Yep, there's Mahib Imperial Armory. Probably butchered that name so well enough. Professional Scouts just got completed with Science, so maybe I'll collect down some delicious venison. This map has the 1-7 deposit near both players. Science Blue's collecting up as normally. And there's a handful of small 3 deposits. Zalak Duggo demands headbats once again. Scout here spots a little bit of everything. And do now Sarat survival techniques being researched as well. No Song Dynasty. I can't remember what Zuzi's Legacy Song Dynasty is. I always forget what it is. But I think it was very, very not useful. Tang Dynasty offers a lot more benefits. But Yuan Dynasty with Zuzi's Legacy makes your units cost less and plus give you access to Shaolin Monks, which are a 100% food cost space unit. So they're pretty spammable, though slightly expensive. But they're still pretty nice, pushing the extreme late game where they only cost food. Granted, you're limited how many pagodas you can pull on the field or to spawn them out. It doesn't say the build limit there. I thought it was like 3. Maybe I'm getting that mixed up with the Chinese. Maybe Zuzi's Legacy can mass them out. They got a good amount of venison being claimed there. Has 5 scouts on the field with the 3 deposit deer. I think that's a little bit too many. I think, well, 3 would be good. Though a spotter for the now Lancers being employed in the field is quite nice. Also want to see the Dahlia horses. Of course, Zuzi's Legacy does have access to a lot of elite cavalry in age 5, not age 5, even age 4 with the Zuzi's Library, the Acadians, the Imperial Guard, as well as the Yuan Raiders. In Ottomans, players then not go for secondary town centers, so Yuan Raiders seem particularly useful for me. And they are particularly fast. And they have like a move speed of 2? Can't remember exactly. So I think this may be a game for Yuan Raiders. Lance, of course, full on the field. The Spahi does not move as fast as a horseman. And there is traversable path to escape. Looks like he's getting 4 wood chips from the meditation gardens. I guessed 5. I was incorrect. My apologies. Mount Lu Academy being employed in the field. That is the other age 3 landmark, so he's going to go to the Yuan Dynasty soon. Which of course does give a cost reduction. I can't remember if it's all units or certain units. I think it was all units. Which could be quite nice for the Shaolin Monks. I think it puts them down to 180 food. Making them much more spammable, plus also unlocks their pagodas to make them much more spammable. He has 3 relics there, so getting out 3 pagodas would be very nice. Last relic on the map is in Blue's town center. The other one is picked up by him. So there's going to be 3 relics versus 2 relics. Got a Wolo here from Imam. He does avoid in time. Janissary's pulling in the field. Now think about it. Maybe against Ottomans, the Yuan Raiders is probably a horrible idea since Janissary is of course an extremely hard counter to them. How could I forget? Oh, do now have Yuan Dynasty. Yep, the highlight is now down to 180. Lancers are approximately 216, if my offhand math is incorrect. But that cost reduction is very nice, and of course, like I said, he has access to pagodas. Picked up a relic, so that the pagodas being established there. But Relicanton provide 100 gold, 62 food, 62 wood, and 25 stone. Very excellent indeed. Scout going down, not big surprise. And now did the veteran Sipahi being researched. Good number of Janissaries, so... Oh yeah, Zuzi's Legacy does not have archers as well. They're particularly weak to gunpowder, since archers are particularly strong versus gunpowder. And they don't have pyrotechnics like full regular Chinese. They do have access to early grenadiers, which I can't remember if there's a dynasty requirement for that. If it's early, probably not. No, I don't think they don't have a dynasty requirement for their units. So you could deploy out age 3 Grenadiers, which I don't know if that'd be particularly good. This one has good enough spotty, so it could go for Grenadier Spearmen and eventually get Fire Lance upgrade onto them. I think Zuzi's legacy overall, with the lack of the fact they can't deploy any archers, makes him particularly weak versus Ottomans, and primarily gunpowder, but particularly Ottomans since they have good cavalry, but they're unable to deploy it because of Janissaries, and those simple Janissaries cannot be countered. So he's probably going to need to go for Nest of Bees, maybe go for the, what's it called, Temple of Sun to increase the range by 1 for Nest of Bees. And then go for Spearmen to deal with all the cavalry, since the Ottomans like to go for a heavy amount of Sipahi because they're excellent light cavalry. The heaviest of all light cavalries. Lancers do take a bit of volley there, there's way too many Janissaries there. There's also 4 Dark Age Spearmen to boot, which probably would be good for the Spear Brace, that's it. You lose Zuzi's legacy players probably going too heavy in Lancers. Now we got the legendary Hardened Spearman upgrade for the Ottomans. You can only research once per game. That's why it makes it legendary, right? So now the Meditation Garden has a slight bit of damage there from that scout earlier. Lancers and Sipahis advancing do have some hand cannoneer slits, which are particularly cost effective. Got a number of Spring Golden placements there. Not Spring Golden placements, Spring Golds. Lancers Spring presumably forced. Got some Shaolin Monks. Shaolin Monks do, of course, can reduce the damage received by ranged damage by 50% for 15 seconds. I think Shaolin Monks may be a good item against the Janissaries. They have no inherent range armor. They do have 2 melee armor. They're definitely very spammable. Just need to make sure your granary farming economy is up and going. Speaking about farming, looks like the venison is being finished off. I see 1 idle villager. And looks like that scout has a piece of delicious venison on his back, or at least on the horse's butt. Cyan, there's a bit of choke point there, having trouble with Cyan. Handful of spearmen and a single Janissary causing issues with Cyan. Cyan will likely win the fight, but won't be great, a good win. Mount Lu Academy, has it got any research from that? Looks like it's got 2 research. I can't remember what those 2 are. It does not have the +2 Imperial Official, which is a pretty nice. Imperial Official is just very nice. Let's just simply leave it at that. Lancers trying to torch down this gate. Villagers trying to build more gates. Sipahi got left behind. Couple Janissaries here, which will make the Lancers regret for existing in this region. Cyan's not pushing over here. Cyan has a larger army value, smaller size, but I think this Janissaries are more than adequate to equalize the difference. Large number of Spring Golds as well, and his opponent is not going to have any range. He must be feeling pretty confident in them versus the Janissaries. They're more supposed to be a counter for melee infantry, of course, and ships. Let's see how well Spring Golds work against Sipahi. If he stacks them but too much, it will be effective. They're at melee range, so we're going to get a lot of collaterals. This is a purposeful build, large number of Spring Golds. It looks like he is positioned very well, point blank, to get maximum collateral damage on the Sipahi. But Janissaries in a good position there, ripping apart the Janus Lancers. And of course, it's a little bit harder to dodge those bolts, or non-existent. And in fact, the Science managed to keep them alive at point blank. Got a lot of good damage there, but it still wasn't a great deployment, to say the least. Handful of Sipahi still remains. We got a number of the we got a metric bonus now. Now we got them getting a decent amount of collateral damage there on the Janissaries. Got a line of them there. Not sure if Mass Springald's great, but it's to a certain extent working. Just not phenomenal. The Lancers trying to deal with all the Mangonels, which are counter barraging these Springalds. Does get cleaned up mostly by the Lancers. And he has 12 Springalds to deal with 2 more on the way, and continues putting Lancers. This is an unusual composition, to say the least. I don't know if this is a good composition or not. Sign does have less destroyed value. He did equalize a little bit at the end there. He was pretty worse off. Took out that scout pretty good. So I suppose in mass numbers they can do very well. Mangonels do siege damage, so they bypass the range armor, which is not too high. Got a decent amount of damage there. And dodge the Mangonel shot. Never thought I would see the day where Springolds are dodging Mangonels, but I suppose in Age of Empires 4, quite common to see them dodge in Age of Empires 2. How's the Vizier? He has gone for the Janissary Company, has gone for the 2 defaults. Now got the Zhangin Tower, that's the other H2 landmark, so he's going to leave Yuan Dynasty to go to Song Dynasty. I don't know if I like that. I forget, this reduces the oh yeah, Song Dynasty reduces the cost of economic buildings? Yeah, and now he went down to Song Dynasty, which doesn't provide the massive cost discount that he was experiencing. Now he has to pay full price of stuff. I don't know why he went to Song Dynasty. I don't see any value back-attacking to Song. Maybe, well, let's see, can Yuan Dynasty get the access to ancient techniques? Like the Chinese? I don't think they do. Let's see, keeps the remain same cost. Town centers do get a wood deduction. Oh, thank you for the YouTube subscription. Welcome to the channel. Nessa B's firing away. Of course, you with oh wait, do you need Song? You still probably actually need Song Dynasty to get out the granaries, don't you? If that's the case. Oh, maybe he did it to help transfer the farms, so it makes the farms get better reduction. I forget. I know in regular China, you do need Song Dynasty to get out granaries. I can't remember Zuzi's Legacy. Zuzi's Legacies tend to skip a lot of those requirements. But I think granaries as well as pagodas still require it, so he probably did that for the pagoda, for the granaries. If that's the case, that makes a lot more sense now. It still hurts. He gotta cool off the military production at least. And probably should eye to Ming Dynasty, which improves was it health or damage? I can't remember. Has a good number of Lancers still continuously being built. Got some man arms employed in the field. Against all the Springolds, it's not super great. Definitely unusual composition still by Cyan. Some Nessa Beasts employed in the field. Gotta make sure you micro those. Springolds now engaging. Nessa Beast needs to be manually targeted towards other things. Looks like engage onto the horses. Janissaries ripping for those Lancers, no problem. Janissary is slowly being whittled down by all the Springolds. Oh, and we've got the Imam there getting some massive health regen. Very, very nice. That fieldwork upgrade's actually being quite useful right now. Nessa B is engaging the Mangonels. Everything's charging way forward. Lancers getting caught up behind. They need them in the front line to absorb all the damage. Sabali, of course, a good counter all the siege weapons, but they're very stacked up. There's a lot of collateral damage. It looks like both sides' front lines are disintegrating pretty quickly. It looks like Cyan came out ahead. it's just a pile of carcasses from both sides. I think both sides sort of lost the fight, but Cyan has a army on the field. Blue has no army, going for more Sipahi. Sipahi's overall probably a good call. Still Janissary. The Sword destroyed the guy is not eagle-eyes, and now Cyan was behind a little bit, so it looks like Cyan did overall come out ahead. But overall, both sides sort of just lost that fight, the amount of losses there. Cyan's unable to push forward, but Blue is able to have time to recover. Last Vizier point is going to soon be available. The long-term play would be the trade bags. And force Poly push it on the flank. These are full stone walls. And this may be traversable. I know some campaign missions you can traverse this. More stone walls there to help protect the flank. Actually, we'll try. Nope, there's a gate there. Oh, looks like the relic has been picked on up. Fine, could actually eye for that Forgotten Ruin. There'll be another relic ejected from there. Yep, there's a maximum 3 there. I don't see a 3 out of 3. That's why I got confused. Stone now being obtained. And mass granaries over here. No tax drop-off point. In short, a town center would need to be built over there in order to have a tax drop-off point, which could be very nice. Zuzi's library being established right in front of Blue, so he knows the age up's coming. Age 4, this will give him 2 unique units. Never mind going Temple of Sun for configurable bonuses, this will give him more immediate effect. And Istanbul Observatory also aging up at the same time. Did he go for the early Great Bombard? I don't really like these 2 quick summons. The early Great Bombard is basically now sort of pointless of a 0 point when it ages up. You have, of course, the veteran or elite horseman for the Zuzi's Legacy player. Trying to go for a good number of them. Going for the library can also give him access to the Fire Lance upgrade. Of course, he has a Song Dynasty, a lot less powerful dynasty, so he does have a bit more incentive to go to Ming Dynasty since he can no longer obtain Yuan. You can still summon a good number of Shaolin monks. Which a Shaolin monk may be able to defeat a Sipahi in 1v1 combat due to his high attack speed and damage. Hardened Spearman, the other legendary Hardened Spearman upgraded now being researched. Elite Sipahi as well. Nesbees get some splash. Right now, Temple of the Sun has gone for the Divine Charge, so all of his cavalry gets plus 20% damage, or 20.0% damage. And no blacksmith upgrades as well to boost up these units. No elite lancers, so he's not eyeing for any long-term lancer replacement. He's going to eye on the horseman. Here comes Spring Gulls and Nesbees, get a bit of damage there. Rolling Shudder's almost complete. Remember as well, I'm pretty sure the Spring Gulls do get affected by the range damage upgrade. All arrows and bolts. Trench guns now being researched. A regular cannon placement. And Sign does need to start obtaining that gold deposit. This gold deposit has 9 whole nuggets left. Additional barrels. Supply does get intercepted by the horsemans. And of course, got the Imperial Red Seal. We have now this group of supply heading down south for the winter. Stone walls there. And we do have stone walls there. Capital's going to receive some damage there. Sign's a little bit idle there. The Great Bombard is engaging the keep. Blue's heading to the back line trying to find the villagers, which there are none there. And with the stone walls, they are safe in that corner. We'll spot the mill. He's probably wondering where on earth the farms. He should be able to perhaps see some of them if he goes butts up against the edge there. Let's turn on Fog of War for Blue and switch over to him. He doesn't appear to have actually seen any of that. So he does not know where the farming line is. Spearman being obtained does see the Imperial official. Oh, I know Sign may have had trouble recruiting villagers for a bit of time. Sign has 80 villagers, Blue has 90. A number of Janissaries to go there. My apologies, I missed all of that. We got the horsemen straightforward, which are counter to Janissaries, but Janissaries, of course, a good counter to them. And with Divine Charge, get additional 20% damage, which should affect, looks like does affect their bonus damage versus range. Also, handful of them going for the very fine Bombard. Another great Bombard there. Janissaries may actually get overrun by the cavalry. Trying to focus on the great Bombard there. And one more strike does manage to take it out. And now here comes Sign's Siege Force straight forward. Got a cannon placement here. This one's unupgraded. Another Metamor Spahi being blown in fuel. So good number of Janissaries. The rest of these Spahi being cleaned on up. Blue's having trouble remaxing. And so is Blue. Blue's have to go to Ming. So this looks like he has, if the Siege Works wasn't just queued up there, would have enough for Ming Dynasty. Going for the upgrade, so it's not eyeing for Ming Dynasty. And still no blacksmith upgrades as well. Which would make a difference when finding supply. And Blue's actually able to obtain that gold deposit. There is a staggering 32 villagers there. A third of Blue's villagers right there. Very exposed and nowhere near enough protection for them. Force Sign's not going to be able to see it. University deployed out here. And yep, no Ming Dynasty. Amount of horsemen in the field and spearmen. It just screams to me he should get out Ming Dynasty, primarily the Library Flip Fire Lance upgrade. Going for our Shaolin Monk, probably trying to claim the secret site there. This one could also be claimed while at it. And Shaolin Monks are pretty resilient, so he can defend it by himself. Maybe send 3 of them there, and then it will take a decent sized force to clean out. Supply you 2 would not be able to clear out, say, 3 Shaolin Monks. It would be a bit more, had to be a bit more of a committed force. Science going for a bunch of trash units. Has enough gold for the Ming Dynasty. I think Science going to be eyeing for Ming Dynasty now. Or soon. And Blue's still trouble remaxing. Blue's economy doesn't have out of food, low on wood, and gold's not exactly too high either. The short value is pretty even, so Sign's just doing better on the economics. Granted, Blue can be able to directly fabricate units, which effectively gives them about 1,000 additional value per minute. There's a bit of choke point there, so the Springballs could do some good work there. We do have Supply come from a nice little flank here. They need to fall back. They do find the keep here. Cannons or bombards engaging the Great Bombard. Great Bombard does go down there. Horseman and Spearman push way forward. Janissaries in the back line firing. And Janissaries probably should have kept on firing. Nessa Bees engaging the Janissaries, getting some good damage. No biology upgrade for blue. Sign does have biology. And with Divine Charge, I think his horsemen are actually superior to the Sipahi. And blue does go ahead and resign there. And the longer the game goes on, Sign would have done more stuff with the lack of gold. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay.